Hello everyone, welcome to our video. I'm so glad you could join me today. In this lesson, we will talk about why reading is important and how it can help you improve your English. Whether you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced learner, reading can be one of the most valuable tools to practice new words, understand grammar, and increase your fluency. Today, we'll explore how reading helps us learn and why it's such a powerful skill to develop. Think about how often we use language every day. We speak to friends, family, and coworkers. We listen to other people's stories, and we also read many things like emails, news articles, social media posts, or even textbooks. Reading is everywhere, and it plays a big part in improving your vocabulary and your comprehension of the world. When you read, you discover new words and phrases that you might not hear in normal conversation. You also get used to seeing correct spelling, punctuation, and sentence structure, which can help you become more confident when you write or speak. Reading can be fun, too. You can choose books, stories, or articles that match your interests. It doesn't always have to be academic or difficult. If you enjoy sports, you might read sports news or stories about famous athletes. If you like fiction, you could read short stories or novels. It's really up to you what you read, as long as you keep yourself engaged with the material. By choosing interesting texts, you will feel more motivated to continue reading and learn from context. That way, even if you see a difficult sentence or an unfamiliar word, you can figure out the meaning by thinking about the story or the topic. But what about the benefits of reading for your speaking skills? Many people want to speak English more fluently, but are not sure how reading can help. When you read, you absorb natural sentence structures and develop a better sense of how English is used. You might notice that native writers often use contractions like it's instead of it is, or that they use idioms and expressions to add flavor to the text. By reading carefully, you can pick up these details and use them the next time you speak. You can also practice reading out loud to become more comfortable with pronunciation. Don't worry if you stumble or hesitate at first. It's normal to feel nervous when reading aloud, but with practice, you'll become more fluent. Reading also helps you think more critically. You can ask yourself questions about what you read. Why did the author write this story? What is the main point of this paragraph? How does the writer use certain words to create a specific mood or atmosphere? When you become an active reader, you start to notice how language works. This awareness can help you express yourself better when you talk about complex topics. You will also learn to organize your ideas in a clear way, which can be very useful when you're speaking or writing essays. Another reason reading is so important is that it can broaden your perspective. Maybe you don't have the chance to travel or meet people from other countries every day, but when you read, you get a glimpse of their lives, cultures, and experiences. You can read about different places in the world and learn how people solve problems or celebrate certain holidays. This knowledge can make you more confident when you speak to others because you have more topics to discuss. You can share what you've read and learn from each other. If you feel that reading is too hard or too boring, start small. Choose simple texts. You don't have to read a whole novel in one sitting. Try reading a short article or a few pages every day. Even a graded reader or a simple children's book can be a great place to begin. The important thing is to enjoy the process and gradually challenge yourself with more complex texts as you improve. Don't be afraid to use a dictionary or an online tool when you see words you don't know. Over time, you'll need to check the dictionary less often because you'll recognize the words more quickly. Another strategy is to set a specific goal for yourself. Maybe you can say, I will read for 10 minutes every day, or I will finish one short story each week. By setting clear goals, you can measure your progress and stay motivated. Reading regularly is more effective than reading a lot only once in a while. When you develop a habit, you build your skills step by step. After a few weeks, you might be surprised at how much you've learned. A common question people ask is how to choose the right reading material. One idea is to find something at your level or just a little harder than your level. If it's too easy, you might not learn new things. If it's too hard, you might feel frustrated and give up. Look for texts that are interesting and relevant to your life. If you are studying English for work, you could read business articles or reports. If you are learning English for everyday conversation, you could read short stories, blog posts, or lifestyle articles. You can also read the same text more than once. The first time, just try to understand the main idea. The second time, look up words you do know. The third time, see if you can summarize the text in your own words. Summarizing is a great way to practice speaking and writing. After you read, try to explain what you just read. You can speak to yourself, record your voice, or talk to a friend. If you can clearly explain the text, it means you understand it well. You can also try to write a few sentences about what happened in the story or what the article is talking about. This helps you practice using the new words and sentence structures you've learned. Over time, you'll build a stronger sense of language and become more comfortable expressing yourself. Some people worry that they might pronounce words incorrectly if they only learn them from reading. This is a valid concern. One way to handle this is to listen to audiobooks or watch videos that go along with the text you are reading. For example, you can find some graded readers that come with audio recordings. You can follow along with the text while you listen to the correct pronunciation. This combination of reading and listening can be very powerful for learning. You can train your eyes and your ears at the same time, and then practice speaking out loud to reinforce the correct sounds. Over time, your pronunciation and intonation will improve. It's also helpful to keep a journal of the words or phrases you learn. Whenever you come across something new, jot it down in a notebook or on your phone. Try to include a short definition, maybe an example sentence, and the translation in your native language if necessary. Review this list often. You'll notice how much vocabulary you're picking up from reading regularly. You can also practice making sentences with these new words to help them stick in your memory. Once you feel comfortable using a new word, you can try to use it in a conversation or in your writing. This is how you move new vocabulary from passive knowledge to active usage. Reading is important not only for your English, but also for your overall personal growth. It helps you learn about new ideas, new perspectives, and even new skills. If you're curious about science, you can read articles or books on that subject. If you enjoy history, you can read about different time periods and events. The variety of reading material is endless. And as you read more, you'll grow your knowledge, strengthen your critical thinking, and become a more well-rounded person. If you ever feel discouraged or think that your progress is too slow, remember that language learning is a journey. It takes time and consistency to see results. Every day that you spend reading a little bit of English is a step forward. Celebrate small successes. Maybe you finish a chapter of a book without having to look up too many words. Maybe you notice that you can follow a short story without getting confused. These are signs of improvement, and they mean you're moving in the right direction. Keep going, and little by little, your reading comprehension, speaking ability, and confidence will grow. Another tip is to share your reading experiences with others. If you have a study group or friends who also want to improve their English, you can read the same book or article and then talk about it together. Discuss what you learned, what surprised you, or what you found difficult. This kind of conversation helps you practice speaking skills and also checks your understanding. It's fun to compare interpretations and opinions. Plus, it keeps you motivated to stay on track because you know others are reading alongside you. You might also try reading simple English news websites or graded news articles online. This is a good way to stay informed about current events while improving your language skills. Many of these sites provide vocabulary lists or explanations of challenging words. Reading about real-world topics can teach you new words that you might hear in daily life or in discussions with other English speakers. You'll also become more confident when talking about those topics in conversation, because you've already read about them and developed some background knowledge. Finally, remember that reading is a gateway to better language skills. It expands your mind, builds your vocabulary, and strengthens your grammar instincts. When you read in English, you're not just learning words, you're also learning how to express ideas. You can discover how different writers communicate their thoughts and emotions, and you can take inspiration from them for your own speaking or writing. Reading is also a way to relax and enjoy yourself, especially if you choose stories or articles that interest you. It's a great habit to build into your daily routine. The more you read, the more you'll see how it benefits both your language skills and your overall understanding of the world. Thank you for listening to this discussion on why reading is important. I hope you feel inspired to find a book, story, or article that interests you and start reading today. Even just a few pages can make a difference over time. Keep practicing, stay curious, and watch your English skills improve little by little. I'm happy you could join me, and I hope this video motivates you to keep learning. Take care, and I'll see you next time.